Good morning and welcome to Chang International Circuit. Thank you for joining us on live stream on YouTube and Facebook. We are here, of course. This is the fifth and final round of the FIM Asia Road Racing Championship, and this is the final day. And remarkably, 4 out of 5 titles are still up for grabs. The bike's on track now. TVS Asia One Make Championship. That's the only championship that has been decided, and that went convincingly to the master of the series, Vorapong Malawan. More of which a little later. But we'll be taking you through this morning. This is Barry Russell. I'm here with Daniel Bogas, and we'll be taking you through the morning warm-up sessions. And then, if you're within striking distance of Chang International Circuit, I do recommend that you come in for to join the pit walk, which will be at 11:20. It's a great opportunity to meet the riders. They do actually come out. The riders love doing it, and teams. We always got a fantastic atmosphere in ARRC pit walk. So if you are around, do come in and join the end of season party. Daniel, what did you make of going back to the race here? What did you make of Vorapong's win yesterday?
I mean, Vorapong, he's just been sensational this season, and especially this time around in Chang. From the first practice until yesterday's race, he was untouchable. But I want to give a notable mention to Watcherin, because Watcherin rode an incredible race. He got his time done as well to 151. So it was really impressive by both the Thai riders.
Yeah, the difference in the end was that Vorapong was able to maintain his pace throughout the race. So while for the first couple of laps he kept Vorapong honest, as the race went on, Vorapong got further and further away. But it was remarkable early performance from Watcherin, and he held on. P3 was taken pretty convincingly as well by Fugo Tanaka, who's come good in the last couple of rounds here too. And behind them there was a good battle for fourth place, which ended up being won by Arshad Rushdi, the Singaporean rider from Kaiwa Ahmed, and it was really good to see an Indian rider up near the front, and Hayato Kobayashi.
It was impressive by the wildcard as well, Muhammad Alif Adam Shah, for him to finish 7th and be just within a second of Vorapong's timing on his first time out with the TVS. It's really impressive.
Yeah, it certainly was. And I was just looking at the... we were doing some comparisons yesterday with the AP250 class, because this is one B that Vorapong's had in his bonnet ever since the start of this project, was that he wanted to beat AP250 lap times, and that happened yesterday by around 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was insane how fast the TVS machines are going. A 151 in comparison to the 153s we're seeing in AP250. It's just really amazing the work that TVS and Vorapong have done into this program.
Yeah. And sorry, I was just looking through here. The scenes after the victory by Vorapong yesterday afternoon were quite remarkable. This meant a lot to him. He's won a whole hatful of domestic championships in Thailand. Very seasoned senior rider, moving into definitely the later stages of his career. Although I think he's got another few good seasons in him. But he said the race only took 10 minutes. But it's taken me 10 years to win my dream of winning an Asian championship. And I met him 4 or 5 hours after the race, and he was still wearing his victory t-shirt and still so pumped up about it.
Yeah, down at Park Ferme, you could really see the emotion that he had, and it's really nice to see how much it meant to him. And you can see that he's been waiting for this moment, as he said. And it was really great scenes, and we expect to see more of that over the course of this day, because we have 4 more titles to be decided.
Yeah, and we talked about Watcherin as being impressive. This is his home circuit, but nevertheless he was impressively quick yesterday. I thought it was a good performance again from Arshad Rashdi, who's another rider that's coming through nicely in the last couple of rounds.
There he is on screen as well. Yeah, he's been pretty impressive in Sepang as well. Qualified on pole. Quite the ride by Arshad.
Yeah, and two of the Indian riders there that didn't make it into the top 5. Jagan Kumar, the former Indian champion, making a comeback in this one make series, and Deepak Ravikumar, who qualified well, but the race result was perhaps disappointing. He came in 11th place, 17 seconds behind Warapong.
Yeah, something's just been catching my eye. I was seeing the sector timings, and Miyu Nakahara has a first sector time that's way faster than Warapong, who's just set a 151.1. Okay, that's all changed now. But she's doing the almost identical to Warapong's first sector, but the second and third sector seem to be much weaker. So that's where you can see some riders have strengths in certain parts of the track, and on the other two sectors, you just can't really get the grip to it.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I mean, the grunt of these 310 singles is carrying them down the straight at around 200 or more than 200 kilometers an hour. Funnily enough, talking about how you go through sectors, Warapong had by far the slowest maximum speed on the straight yesterday.
Yeah, I've been noticing that throughout all the sessions, he doesn't have the fastest top speed.
It was Miyu Nakahara, yeah, one of the higher at 203.
Fuga Tanaka, he got a 204.5 as well.
Yeah.
If my memory serves me right, KY Ahmed had 211 on Friday, and
wow,
we haven't seen that replicated yet, but that just shows the potential of the speed that these bikes have.
Yeah, we're looking here at Varis Felix Fleming and Arshad Rashdi going through the final turn. Arshad, that's probably going to be his session done, given that it's only a 10-minute session and there are 2 minutes left. Varis Felix Fleming, promising rider from Australia, races in Spain too. It's the 300 class in Spain. Actually in the same team that brought Remy Gardner through the CEV Championship. So he's in a very good system himself, but he had a hell of a crash at Sepang the first time we saw these TVS RR310s racing, and taken a while to recover from that leg injury.
Yeah, Varis, definitely he's in a good pathway for a good future in racing. And yeah, it was really unfortunate after that crash, but we've seen him come back. In Sepang, it still seemed that he looked pumped and motivated, but we suspect that he was still recovering, because this weekend it's been a much better weekend for him in regards to the gap to the front.
Yeah, and fun fact that nationality-wise he's half Thai, so this is a bit of a home race for him.
Yeah, definitely an extra boost.
Yeah, he's got a younger brother coming through as well. We've got a note that we're very grateful for from Varis's mum and dad. He's got a younger brother who is the FIM Mini GP Series at Valencia. So obviously a strong connection with Spain there, which is a bit of a champion factory, isn't it?
Definitely. The amount of riders that have come up through the ranks in Spain, I think any rider who is positioned there really does have potential to go really far.
Yeah, and looking at lap times here in the cool morning air, Warapong Malahuan, 1 minute 50.8.
Yeah, that's the fastest time they've recorded.
0.8 faster than his best race time yesterday.
It's amazing.
So that is quite something. He has jumped up another level, and he's still showing one of the lowest, not quite the lowest, but one of the lowest maximum speeds. So circuit knowledge would have something to do with this. He's won multiple national 400cc championships here, and I mean, I've seen him ride a superbike round here at the front as well. It's Fugo Tanaka. who has done well in the last few races. I think he's had three podiums now. Let's just check. 1, 2, 3, 4 podiums now, I do beg his pardon. 4 third places for Fugo Tanaka, so really good season for him too. And that puts him currently, after race 1, in P4. Just 2 points behind Tiano Aldi, who came in as the championship pretender, but had a bad day out yesterday. So let's take a quick look at those results, and a phenomenal time for the man in P1, the master, Morapong Malahuan. And second, Watcherin Tubtimon, so race order from yesterday, 1 and 2. Third, Jagan Kumar, good performance from him, good to see Jagan coming back. Fourth, Deepak Ravi Kumar. Fifth, Arshad Rushdie. Sixth, the wildcard, Alif Adam Sia. Seventh, Fugo Tanaka. Eighth, Natapon Kalmun. And ninth was Freddie Jacobs. 10th, Agan Septian. 11th, KY Ahmed. 12th, Faris Felix Fleming. 13th, Tiano Aldi. Quiet showing from him. 14th, Hayato Kobayashi. And 15th, Miyu Nakahara. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back. In fact, Daniel will be back with the Underbone 150 warm up, which will be starting in around 8 minutes from now. So stay with us, and we've got plenty to talk about during these warm up sessions this morning. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Very good morning and welcome back to the action out on track for the finale of the 2022 season of the Asia Road Racing Championship. Now we're watching the Underbone 150 warm-up session. Just a quick 10-minute warm-up session for the Underbones, and already 2.5 minutes have elapsed. As you can see, most of the riders just coming out now, just getting the heat into those tires. Now the real big question of the day comes down to the races and for all the championships across the AP250, Super Sport 600, Underbone 150 and the ASB1000. In this category in particular, we will pay our close attention towards Izzat Zaidi and Wahyaji. Now for those who joined us for the race yesterday, what a dramatic race that was. 15 riders in one group, all of them trading positions. At one point, Izzat Zaidi moved all the way to the back of that group, and then by the final lap, we saw him coming to second. Yeah, and he's on screen there. He'll be happy with his performance after a DNF in Sepang in the second race. Collected 20 points yesterday. And Wahyaji, what an unfortunate circumstance for him. A big mistake at the final turn. There's Wahyaji right now on screen. A big mistake at the final turn. It really looked like he was going to finish well in the top 5, and that would have given him, if I remember mathematically, either equal on points or slightly ahead by 1 or 2. But as of right now, he trails by 6 points. So it's a big question mark now for what's going to happen in the race. Because if we have what was similar to yesterday's race, 15 riders in one group, everyone's going to be battling at the last turn, and we know, especially in the Underbone category, nothing is certain right until the final run down to the line. Now you can see Wahyaji just coasting there. Looks like a bit of an issue for on his bike. And yeah, one thing I do want to note, once again, if you did join us yesterday for the races, you would have seen Wahyaji had struggles with electronics, and I'm suspecting that's what's happening right here. From what I understand, I was about to interview Wahyaji on the grid, and then it was so hectic. They were frantic all around his bike, trying to figure out what's going on, and immediately it looked like something like electronic. It wasn't something mechanical. And we found out later that Wahyaji was racing without a quick shifter. Now, some might say that, yeah, quick shifter, you know, it only shaves off maybe a 1/10 or 2, especially on a track like this, but sometimes it's that 0.1 of a second that can be the difference down the line in the Underbone category. So it was a heroic ride from Wahyaji to be able to fight at the front even without a quick shifter. But what a dramatic end to the race it was. But for now, it looks like Wahyaji, he's gonna have this session cut short, because it really did look like he's still struggling with that electronic issue. We must give credit as well to the great victory, that amazing final lap done by April King Mascardo. A rider from the Philippines rode an amazing final lap. I was watching that final lap, and immediately when you saw him just pushing straight to the front, you could tell that April was on it. He was out there to finish in front. And what a lap that was from April, that eventually gave him the full 25 points. I mean, we know April is such a talented rider, and he's had a decent season. He's third in the championship. Perhaps just a bit of a slower start to his season than he would have liked. But as we come to the end of the season, he has been fantastic. It's his first win of the season. He got a second place in round 3 at Sugo. And I'm sure we're going to see plenty more of April King. Then we have another one of the interesting performers of this weekend, Hafid Pratamaditya. Had a great qualifying in Super Bowl, but just unfortunate in the final race. Well, it was really anyone's race at that point, and you could finish anywhere from 1st to 15th. That was how close the group was, and it was just such a great race to watch. Underbone never disappoints, and there we go, Shafiq Rossi right now, the first fast lap coming through, a 2:04.621. And it was unfortunate for Turakic Buapa as well. At first he was looking like he was on course for a podium. He was constantly fighting at the front, but nevertheless, the wildcard did collect 11 points. Managing to finish 5th in the race 1. So big credits go out to Turakic Buapa for riding an incredible race. Here's a great onboard shot of Izzat Zaidi. We saw some great onboard shots of all the battles going throughout the categories, and that's a great shot facing the back there, especially in the underbone class. And you see these onboard shots of them just battling through. It is quite amazing. Who's that coasting there? I think that was Shafiq Rosli, if I'm not mistaken. I'm feeling Izzat Zaidi. Right behind him there is Muhammad Yordan Bararu. Yeah, this championship really, it's a two-man race. It's all about who can get the most points when they come down to the line. Now, if we're gonna speak mathematical, if Izzat Zaidi finishes 3rd, that would mean, okay, if Wahyu Aji was to finish 1st and Izzat Zaidi were to finish 3rd, if my calculations are correct, then that means Wahyu Aji would win the championship by just 4 points. But likewise, if Wahyu Aji finishes 1st and Izzat Zaidi finishes 2nd, as long as Izzat finishes 2nd, then no matter whether Wahyu Aji wins or not, if Wahyu Aji wins and Izzat 2nd, Izzat wins the championship. That's how close it is. So we know that both of them will go for the win. Izzat can't rest on his laurels. He can't just sit back and watch the race and just finish in the top 15. He has to finish 2nd or higher to secure the championship comfortably. Well, comfortably, I say he needs to finish 2nd to ensure that he knows he's won the championship. Anything lower might just not do. And he can't count on Wahyu Aji being behind, because we know what happens at that final turn. Wahyu Aji might just be chilling behind the likes of Izzat, and at the final turn he just cuts across and takes the podium, and that could change the championship. So it's all on the line. So really in this situation, I would say Wahyu Aji has the most clearer vision. He knows that if he's at the front, if he's going to win this race, he's going to be the champion. For Izzat, it's the lead that's at stake. Now we're watching all these riders come through turn 4. We saw quite a few incidents happen here at turn 4 and 5. It is a very fast part of the track. You're going down to the very fast flowing left-hand turn after a long straight. And it's a double left here again. Right before the flip to the right, and we saw some amazing overtakes. I remember April King over here just asking so much from his tires, and he just kept that bike gripping. It was such a great ride. And that's Wahyu Aji there. I thought Wahyu Aji was struggling with some electronics, but maybe it's the quick shifter again that we saw giving him issues, and he's just decided to carry on forward. Lap times wise so far, Hafiza Rofa doing a great job. Hafiza has been so impressive in this category. Currently he sits as fastest. April Ken Moscato, he's on a great lap as well. He's got the fastest 2nd sector. We come down to the final turn, and I can't wait to see what happens here at race 2. You can see Wahyu Aji, I think he's just testing a line there. It's not a very wide entry comparison to what we saw earlier. But this is going to be quite the build-up to the championship decider. And there we go, April King Moscardo. I mentioned that he made an amazing 2nd sector there, and he's just gone across sector 3 and taken the fastest lap time, a 2:09. So I would say, I'm not a betting man, but if you were going to bet on someone to win this race again, it's April King. He's looking on fire. He's looking comfortable, he's looking great. But then again, if it's someone besides Izzat or Wahyu Aji to win the race, well, my team is going to have to do some real mathematics. So these are the results for the Underbone 150 warm-up. April King Moscato, the fastest rider, 2:09. Hafiza Rofa, ever so impressive, 2nd fastest. Gubita Kresna in 3rd. Wahyu Aji in 4th. Pierpong Lui Bumpeng 5th. Murubil Vitoni 6th. Nazirul Izzat 7th. Giancarlo Marusio in 8th. And it's Ahmed Afif Amran in 9th, Izzat Zaidi in 10th, 11th Shafiq Rosli, 12th John Emerson Inguito, 13th Jordan Badaru, 14th Turakish Buapa, 15th Dimas Juli Admoko, 16th Hafid Pratamaditya. And coming in 17th is Nguyen Duc Tan, 18th Pascon San Luang, 19th Amafazi Sham, strange enough, and 20th Nguyen Antoine. So that concludes the Underbone 150 warm-up session. We're going to head to a short break, but while we're having that short break, we will have the recap of what happened in the Underbone 150 Race 1.
This is the FIM Asia Road Racing Championship, coming to you live from Chang International Circuit in Buriram, Thailand. This is Sunday and the second and final race day of the 2022 season, and we still have 4 out of 5 championship titles to be won. And in no other category is the battle tighter or more unpredictable than in the AP250s, the Asia Production 250 bikes that you can see just coming out for their warm-up session. So coming into this race, Andy Fadley is the championship leader, as he has been since round 1, which was here back in March. But his lead is narrowing and narrowing and narrowing. So he comes in with 125 points on the board. That gives him, after yesterday's race, an 11-point advantage over Adinanta Putra from Astra Honda, one of the very much in-form riders at the moment. But Reza Danica is just 6 points behind Adinanta, also Astra Honda, and Aldi Satya-Mahendra, who came in as one of the favoured challengers to Andy Fadley's title. He ended up on 107, so Hergen from Astra Honda, Aldi Satya on 107. So you have 5 realistic championship contenders here. Despite Andy Fadley's lead, there is competitiveness engineered into this category. By which I mean, if a rider gets 50 points or more ahead of the rider in 6th place at any point during the season, they have a 500 RPM rev cut off their maximum limit. This has happened to Andy Fadley twice, which means that his rev limit is down 1,000 RPM. There he is on our screen right now. And on a fast circuit like Chang International, and in the last round at Sepang, that 1,000 RPM rev cut makes a difference. So that means, based on the form of the last couple of races, last couple of rounds rather, Andy Fadley can expect to pick up maybe 10 or 11 points from a 5th or 6th place. Realistically today, this is racing, so I'm being guarded in what I'm saying here, and he is a great rider, defending champion as well. However, he does have this engineered in disadvantage, which means that the Astra Honda riders, all 3 of them are in the hunt for the championship. Adinanta, Reza, who is the 2018 champion, and Hergen can all catch him. And then you've got the spoiler, the 16-year-old spoiler from Indonesia, for Yamaha Racing Indonesia, Aldi Satya-Mahendra, who won't care about any of that. He will just be getting his head down and trying to win the race or get the best result he can. It's a big ask for Aldi, because he is totally surrounded by Hondas. Yesterday in the race, he had some assistance, or at least some moral support, from his teammate Anggi Setiawan, who had an impressive race. He came in just behind, meaning about 200ths behind Aldi Satya yesterday. So good showing from Anggi Setiawan. We've been waiting for it. But the race winner yesterday was Hergen Atna Ferdos. And on your screen there is the Vietnamese rider, Cao Vietnam, just going wide there, and I think that is Aiki Iyoshi going through. Can't quite know that, beg your pardon. That is Andy Fadley tracking him down the fast straight towards turn 4. So you can see that Cao Vietnam has got some speed now in that Honda. It's a new one for this round, and he seemed pretty happy with it. He's a good rider, Cao Vietnam. He's performed impressively in the Asia Talent Cup, taking podiums. And there, somebody having a bit of a problem there is the number 93 bike of Fitrian Zakete. I think that's a breakdown rather than a crash. No scuff marks anywhere. So hopefully he'll be all right for the race. But looking at the timing screens, because this is a very short 10-minute warm-up session, it is Reza Danica leading at the moment with a 153.486, which is a little bit faster than his race time yesterday. No, sorry. It's faster than the race winner's race time, but not faster than his. But anyway, he's on a very good race pace at the moment. And 0.9, more than 1 second clear of Angie Setiawan, who's continuing his good run from yesterday. There he is in the blue Yamaha with the pinky orange helmet. Good shot from there as Adinata Putra, number 21 for Astra Honda, leads them into turn 1. They'll have another couple of laps. Cal Vietnam scampering across to the bottom right of your screen, followed by one of the Indian Hondas. And on screen we have bike number 149, which is the wild card for Honda Racing Thailand. That's Jakrapat Pudisan. He was impressive yesterday. Stayed with the leading group all the way through. Finished in P9. But the fact that he stayed with the leading group through most of the race spoke very well of him and of the selection process in Honda Racing Thailand to bring him in as a wild card. We should say as well, if we can see him somewhere, we haven't seen him yet on screen, but Piawat Patumios, the regular Honda Racing Thailand 250 rider, he dominated free practice on Friday, dominated qualifying to take pole position yesterday, but it didn't really work out for him in the race. He came through to finish off the podium in P4. So he's hoping for an improvement today. He was looking a little crestfallen when I saw him in the paddock yesterday evening, but picking himself up to fulfill the expectations he has of himself, and no doubt the expectations his team have of him for race 2 today. That is Jakrapat going through your screen there, followed by Adinata, followed by Angie Setiawan, followed by Andy Fadley, the championship leader. The checkered flag will be out next time they come round. There's 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock. Switch from Andy Fadley. Given his lack of top speed, the only credible strategy that he can follow is to stay in touch with the leading group if he possibly can. Take advantage of the slipstream, wait till later in the race, and use his very well known and extremely skillful racecraft to get himself up the order. But of course there's 25 points available for a race win, and he is just 11 points clear of Adinata Putra. And less than that, sorry, my mathematical brain just hasn't been working at all this weekend for some reason, but with Adinata on 114 and Reza Danica and Hergen, with Reza Danica on 108, Hergen and Aldi on 107, this AP250 title is wide open. And there's number 188 on the screen there, just being tracked by Andy Fadley. That is just been overtaken by Andy Fadley. That is Piawat Patumios, who will start this afternoon from pole position. Nice move on him in this brief warm-up session. The checkered flag is out now, so the next time these riders come round, that will be it. Just going through your screen there is Setu Rajiv, number 80 for Honda India. Setu finished 17th out of the points yesterday. And you can see the time there. Reza Danica staying at the top, and yes, he will stay at the top for that session with a best lap of 153.1. Decent race pace from him, and also from Piawat, who finished second. Angie Setiawan, nice session from him, he's looking good. Adinata Putra, 153.7, and the last rider in the 153s, and this is really good to see, a kid Aziz, who is in his rookie season in AP250s, the former 150 underbone champion. Let's just check those results right now. And here they are. So number 1 for Astra Honda, the 2018 champion, Reza Danica RNs 153.152. P2, Piawat Patumios 153.201. Angie Setiawan, impressive warm-up for him. Adinata Putra in P4. 5th, Akira Aziz. 6th, Aiki Ioshi. Andy Fadley's teammate. 7th was Akir Mohammed. He had a good race yesterday. Ray Ratakuri, always a threat, with a 154.5 in 8th. And in 9th is the defending champion and championship leader coming into this last race of the season, Andy Fadley. 10th, Jack Ripat, the wild card. 11th for Astra Honda, Hurjanatna Fardos. 12th, Irfan Haikal. 13th, Idlan Hakimi Radwan. 14th, Aldi Sacha Mahendra. 15th, Cal Vietnam. 16th, Central Chandra Sekaran. 17th, Setu Rajiv. 18th, Tse Leongnan. 19th, Fitrian Zakete. And 20th, although recording no time, was Rafid Topan Suchipto. Hopefully no problems for him. That brings us to the end of this. We will leave you with a quick recap of that warm-up session, and then Daniel will be back with the warm-up session for the Supersport 600s. Plenty of talking points there too. So we'll be back with Daniel in just about 10 minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome back. We are now with the Supersport 600 class for their warm-up session. It is the last time these riders will be out on track this morning for the rest of the season, actually, because we are going to conclude today with the championship finale. And it is a big question mark, especially in the Supersport 600 class. Drama all around yesterday. We have more drama. I'll get onto that in a bit, but for now I will talk about the three riders contesting in the championship: Helmi Azman, Andi Farid, and Nakarin. So Chet Nakarin, he's of course at quite a point deficit. It's 23 points between himself and Helmi. Then again, and I am speaking in hypotheticals, we're just trying to be mathematical. Should Andi not finish strong in the points and Helmi have a DNF perhaps, and Nakarin wins, he will be the surprise winner in the championship. But for Helmi, his job is simple: finish in front of Andi and Nakarin, and the championship is all his. Now yesterday we saw Irfan Ardiansha, Andi Farid's teammate. He was playing defense the whole race. He was trying to help the likes of Andi. Of course we have no confirmation whether that is true or not, but from our perspective it did seem that way. And yeah, Irfan was doing a fantastic job to help his teammate there. Azra as well, trying to get to the front, but he finished with a fantastic podium. But yeah, this time for race 2, for the final race of the 2022 season in the Supersport 600 class, Irfan Ardiansha will have a ride-through penalty. So that can be a game changer. It will, let's say if Helmi's having a struggle once again to get to the front, it gives Helmi a position. For Andi Farid, he will not have a teammate to help him. So right now Helmi leading 13 points from Andi Farid, leading Nakarin by 23 points. For Andi and Nakarin, all they have to do is finish first. That's what they need to do. And other than that, they have to hope. They have to hope and pray that this man on screen does not finish well in the top 5. And there we go, Helmi Azman getting the first flying lap through, a 1 minute 40.782. Yeah, the thing is, it's all good and well to say that Helmi, Andi and Nakarin are the ones to fight it out, but don't forget we have plenty of riders in this field who will be looking for a win. And then we have some riders. I was about to mention this rider on screen here, Ratapong, but Ratapong now there, he's out. Looks like another bike issue for Ratapong. Seen a couple for him this weekend. But yeah, don't forget, there are riders who want to win this race. We have Krichapon Kausanthi, who's performed really great. Ratapong, who we just saw being pushed off, he's also been pretty fast this weekend. And one rider which was so sad to see not contest in the higher positions was Pirapong Boonlert. We saw an issue for him yesterday in race 1. But yeah, Pirapong, he's got race-winning pace. Ratapong as well, race-winning pace. So it's not going to be an easy task for the 3 championship contenders. For now, that's Helmi Azman and Azra Hakim Anwar. So Azra, great 3rd place victory for him after Irfan tried to dive bomb into the final turn, but was unable to make it stick. So you can see that Azra and Helmi, just as we saw throughout the weekend, riding in tandem. Their teammate Karol Idampawi, he was more or less riding solo for most of the sessions. But yesterday we saw him just playing second fiddle to Helmi, just giving Helmi that 1 extra position. It seemed like Idampawi had that extra pace, but of course I'm sure there was team orders in play to let Helmi be at the front. And now Idampawi, he's just gone up into 3rd fastest at 1 minute 40.574. He's been looking pretty strong this weekend. Oh dear. There we go, another one of the Thai riders, Pirapong Boonlert. He's out again. So drama there for Pirapong. A champion in this category before. He'll be looking to try and make a strong comeback into race 2, but more worries growing now for Pirapong. For now we follow the two of 3 Bunsu Honda Racing riders. Behind there was Idampawi as well. He was just tailing Azroy and Helmi, but Azroy's just gone off there, turn 4. I'd imagine Azroy's a bit nervous now going into turn 4 and 5 after having 2 moments there. Once in free practice 1 and once in practice 3. However, talking to Helmi on grid while they were walking back, Helmi was saying, yeah, it's a difficult weekend. Azroy crashing twice. So it's not been the easiest task for them, but we know this Bunsu Honda racing team has been such a well-oiled machine. So we know they will be fighting back. So now there's Helmi Osman as he makes it through. Idam Pawi, his teammate, not too far behind. Helmi 1 minute 40.3, Idam Pawi doing a 1 minute 40.5. So Helmi's running in 3rd fastest currently, Idam Pawi in 6th. One rider which I'm not seeing much on screen is Andy Farad. Andy Farad not doing too bad, he's in 4th place. Time-wise, this is slightly slower than what most of them are doing in the race pace. The fastest lap times in race were within the mid 139s. Right now only Krichaporn, who I mentioned, is really another one who could win the race. Krichaporn did a 139 and he's improving on that 139 already on this new lap that he's setting. But there's the 2 Astro Honda racers. Behind them is Krichaporn, and Krichaporn comes across, improves a 139.5. So this warm-up is quite telling, is quite interesting. You can see the pace that Krichaporn has. He's just so good, so comfortable. He wants to get that home ground victory. So is it a little extra boost being on home soil. And yeah, in qualifying as well, Krichaporn was spectacular. He'll be starting from pole again for race 2. So I'm sure if Krichaporn could get a good start again. He only finished 1.5 seconds off the victory for Andy Farad, but I'm sure Krichaporn will have some more data coming in from yesterday. He will definitely be hunting out for a victory. And the thing is, what makes it tough for Helmi, Andy and Chip Nakarin, the other riders hunting for a victory won't be thinking too much about their championship. They won't be thinking about the ones battling. They'll be thinking about, I want to win. I want to finish the final race of the year with a victory. There we're getting the timings of Krichaporn, Mohamed Farouzi, Irfan, Ardian Shah and Andy Farad that we can see at the front there. Ooh, Irfan. Yeah, there we go. I'm pretty sure that was a bit of an image of what we're going to see. Andy, Irfan, just trying to play wide, try to help defend Andy. You can see even with that defensive line that that Irfan is taking, he's still managing to hold the line and keep up with the likes of his teammate Andy. Right on, Chip Nakarin Atira Puvapat. He's just gone up into second fastest, a 1 minute 40.067. And once again, I'm going to give a big credit to Krichaporn. He's just been lapping in the higher 139s consistently. So Krichaporn really has pace. For those who are wondering, sometimes some people may question, if you have 2 races in a race weekend, wouldn't it just be the same result? The fastest rider from race 1 should win race 2 as well? Well, you'd think that, but often for those riders who just finish off the podium, they will have a good amount of data from race 1 to bring into race 2, and then you factor in the weather, the temperature. Those can all change the result drastically. The setup all will be affected. Speaking of setup, I think Idam Pawi's really found something special. He's up into second. He's looking really on pace now. Four minutes remaining in this session, and I think that's Helmi Yasman there, the championship leader, who's gone off there. Looks like turn 4. That's a fast place to crash as well. That's where we saw his teammate Azroy crash. Yeah, that's Helmi Yasman now. He's just he's gone up there. He looks okay. He's walking about, so I think Helmi should be able to get into race 2 comfortably without any pain. Chip Nakarin, he's just gone up back into second, and he's the second rider as well to hit the 139s. This is Helmi here. This is at turn 6. So it's the exact same place where we saw Azra go down the second time, but yeah. What an unfortunate end to the session for Helmi. That was a fast place to crash. Now we're looking back at 3 Hondas here. In front of them, a BMW, Andy Farid, Irfan, and Krichaporn. Krichaporn has just been hitting the 139.5s, 139.7s. He's so comfortable, he's so confident. Irfan just with the leg up there. Krichaporn getting a face full of that. A good job of Irfan not to just slow down immediately. He knows that there's people behind him trying to set some time, so straight away get off the racing line. Good job from him. And that was the first 1 minute 40 that Krichaporn has set since he's been setting the 139, so definitely slowed down a little bit. There's Helmi's bike now being moved, an ambulance as well. So I'm curious, is Helmi in the ambulance? Is he? Oh dear, big smoke there coming. I think that's from Galang Hendra's bike. Either Galang or the likes of Ratapong, I'm not too sure. Yeah, that is Ratapong. We saw him just come out. We saw, oh sorry, Pierpong Bunlert, sorry. Deary me, Pierpong. What a tough weekend this has been for him. Yeah, that was definitely an engine blow. You could see the clouds of smoke coming from the back of his bike. So yeah, what an unfortunate session for Pierpong. A bit of trouble yesterday, and now an even bigger issue, a blown engine. So DNF in yesterday's race with Pierpong. There's Helmi Azam's bike taking some damage. It was a fast fall. Didn't see where Helmi was. It looked like he might have been in the ambulance, and I really hope that if he is, I hope that he's okay, because he was standing up. And for now, Pierpong's bike, we have no info that there's any oil on the track after Pierpong's bike engine blew, which is good news all around. Checkered flag will be coming out. Oh, we have a red flag, I believe. So yeah, checkered flag is out now. You saw there, Ibrahim Noureddin. Strong performance this weekend, but this warm-up session, he's just shy of the time by 0.7 seconds. But yeah, what another session from Krichaporn and Nakarin Atirapuvapat. Really impressive by both of them. Both hitting the 139s. This I am willing to bet that Krichaporn and Nakarin are going to be so strong that they might just disrupt the championship fight in regards to their point calculations. So honestly, I am so excited to see this battle in the 600s. We have so many so-called wild cards that can change the result of the championship altogether. I really cannot wait to see what this championship is going to bring us. It's going to be really interesting. And for now, these are the results for the Super Sport 600 warm-up session. Krichapon Kaosonti in first and fastest at 139.5. Really good lap time there in the morning. Chip Nakarin as well, the championship contender, not too far behind. Second place, 139.6. Idam Pawi looking really strong in the morning, and third. Azra Hakimanwa in fourth as well, his teammate. Irfan Anandi, fifth and sixth. Helmi Azman in seventh. Ibrahim Nordin in eighth. Coming into 9th is Kritaput Kankum. 10th is Galang Hendra Patama. 11th, Kanata Jaiman Pirapong, who we saw. Really unfortunate for him, another issue. And 13th, Keito Abe. 14th, Farizi Tarikula. 15th is Muhammad Ramdan Rosli. 16th is Chanan Inta. 17th is Chang Chi Ying. And in 18th, Ratapong Willarot without any time set. So we're going to go for a short break after the Super Sport 600 session, but before that and before the ASB1000 Warm Up, we will have a recap of the Super Sport 600 Race 1 yesterday.
Welcome back to Chang International Circuit. We're continuing our coverage of this morning's warm-up sessions ahead of race 2 this afternoon for all classes in the last round of the 2022 FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. And these bikes are just coming out for a 20-minute warm-up session. This, as you can see on the screen, is the ASB1000 class, the superbike class. And this is another of the championships here that is absolutely wide open. One of the reasons it's wide open is a very unfortunate one, which is that championship leader Haruki Noguchi is missing because of injury in the horrific crash he was involved in at Suzuka just over 2 weeks ago. And of course, as everybody in the paddock has been saying every time they've got the opportunity, we miss Haruki Noguchi, and we're sorry he's not here, and we look forward to seeing him back next season after he makes a full recovery. But in for him is the rider you can see just in the front there on the white STG Hark Pro machine. That is Ikuhiro Enokido on the number 71 bike, being chased there by Zakwan Zaidi. Zakwan led the race yesterday in the early stages, but then got swallowed up by a succession of riders and ended up finishing in P5. He was clearly disappointed with that because he was the main challenger to Haruki Noguchi. He still is the main challenger to Haruki Noguchi, but it's really tightened up because Haruki has got 154 points after yesterday's 5th place. Zakwan Zaidi has 146 points, so he's within 8 points of Haruki Noguchi, but just 6 points behind Zakwan is Kazma Daniel Kazmayuddin, yesterday's race winner, and a sensational race win it was too. And just behind Kazma is Anupam Sarmoon, who is on 135 points. So there are less than 20 points between the top 4 riders. So absolutely wide open. Zakwan Zaidi qualified well. He qualified in 2nd position, started from the middle of the front row. But it was Kazma Daniel who got pole position in yesterday morning's qualifying session. He did it once with a late lap in the session, and once he clinched pole, he then went on to reduce his time even more. It was a sensational practice qualifying session we had yesterday, and he went on to do something similar in the race, in that he made his way through the pack sensibly during the race, got to the front, stayed there, and then when it mattered in the last couple of laps, he put in one fast lap to eke out a lead and another fast lap to make sure that he got the win. So in a day full of fantastic racing performances yesterday, the man on your screen now, Kazma Daniel Kazmayuddin, number 27 bike with a distinctive pink helmet, he would be my rider of the day, because he came up from looking like an outside championship contender into having a genuine chance, just 14 points off the championship leader, and on better form than the man who finished in 5th place yesterday, Zakwan Zaidi, even though he's 6 points behind. So many variables here. Here's another one. Pasawit Titiwararak for Honda Racing Thailand. He was superbly quick, his best outing of the season. This is his rookie season. Best outing of the season through to qualifying, when unfortunately he crashed early in the session. It was a big crash, so he didn't manage to get out again, although he was unhurt. But he started from 8th on the grid and came through to finish 4th. So that was a good result, but far less than he was expecting, based on the form in Friday's free practice. So he's looking for more, and you can see he's pushing really hard now as he comes into the final turn, the notorious turn 12. And thank you very much, Pasawit. As we're talking about him, he moves himself to the top of the timesheets with a really quick sector 3. Good sector 2 and really quick sector 3 to post a 136.791, which is a decent race pace. There goes Kazma again to complete another lap. So Kazma had lots of airtime yesterday, not only on track but in the interviews he did with my colleague Daniel Bogers after achieving pole position, and after and before the race from the grid, and after the race too. And what a presence he is too. Apiwat Wongthananon, the number 24, who just went through then. He's just out of championship contention, but he finished on the podium yesterday. Always a threat. He's talking about making a few more adjustments to the bikes they're trying in warm-up this morning. So let's take a look at Apiwat and Anupab, his teammate, who finished second yesterday. They both declared they had things they wanted to improve on their bikes. So we can watch their lap times in this session to see whether they're making any notable improvements. And that's Apiwat Wongthananon just tracking and now coming past Gary Salim, Zakwan Zaidi's teammate, and another rider in his first season in this class. And just behind them is Pasawit. So Pasawit blasting past Apiwat Wongthananon on the home straight into the fast right-hander that takes them on to the next straight, which has a kink in it. You can just see one of the riders going through there now, but that is taken flat out, and then they get into the braking zone for the 180-degree turn 3. Foot off the pegs there for Pasawit, as he runs a little bit wide there, but no harm done. And he's still got Gary Salim and Apiwat Wongthananon behind him. But Pasawit had high hopes yesterday of a podium or even a win, but he finished just off the podium, although it's his best finish of the season in P4. But that's how much the expectations have increased. It's not just here at his home circuit. He also looked very, very good in Sepang in round 4 last month. So timesheets, Pasawit still sits at the top with that 136.46. The next best time is pretty close to that from Zakwan Zaidi, and that is a 136.5. And Haruki Noguchi's replacement, Ikehiro Enokido, is in P3. Ikehiro qualified admirably on his first visit to Chang International Circuit. He qualified in P3 outside of the front row. He looked good in the race, but made a couple of mistakes and dropped back, eventually finishing in P10. So he came with a lot of intention to help out his injured teammate, SDG teammate Haruki Noguchi, and it was looking good, but a couple of mistakes on an unfamiliar track meant that he finished down the order yesterday. What can he do today? He's a rider who regularly competes among the best of them in the ASB1000 Championship. And if you haven't ever watched the All Japan Championship, it's worth watching. It's one of the great series, along with Moto America, British Superbike and Australian Superbike Championships. One of the best domestic championships in the world. Casper Daniel has just moved up into P3, the 136.65. His best time in the race yesterday, unsurprisingly, was the best race time. That was a 136.1. But mid to low 136s are a decent race pace. And there is Aslan Shah Kamaruzaman, who had a good race yesterday. He struggled all season, as we know, on the 1XOX TKKR BMW. But he had a reasonable qualification, and he ran with the leading group for the first half of the race. And then this bike tends to chew up tyres. He dropped back, but still managed to finish in 6th position. But it was the second half of the race was the problem. But I spoke to him in the paddock after the race, and he was looking happier than almost any time I've seen him this season. He had a good outing in race 2 in Sugo, but a happy Aslan is a fast Aslan, and it was good to see him threatening near the front again yesterday. I do believe that's Kazma we just saw coming into the pits there. Pit lane entry is just before turn 12 at Chang International. But it's Pasowit still sitting at the top ahead of Zakwan Zaidi and Ikehiro Inokido, and that was Kazma Daniel, currently sitting in P4 with a best time of 1:36.6, so half a second off his best race time yesterday. But he won't be too concerned about that. If they've made any adjustments, he will have tried them out, so that could be the job done. Wildcard on your screen there, that's another of the Japanese riders, Hideyuki Okada, on the number 50 machine, running for Victor Racing. Great to see Victor Racing back in the blue ribboned class. We've got two riders here, Yasuki Nakamura as well, both riding Yamahas for Victor Racing team. And in comes Hideyuki Okada, followed by Gary Salim, followed by Adam Noradin, who broke down, unfortunately, with an engine, it looked like an engine failure in race 1 yesterday. So a few riders in the pits, a few on out laps. Let's take a look at who's on out at the moment, and out at the moment is the ever hard-working Zakwan Zaidi. Zakwan 1:36.4. His best race time yesterday was 1:36.5, set late in the race when he was pushing, trying to get as best a position as he could to try to eke away the championship lead of the absent and injured Haruki Noguchi. But he sits second now, nothing really lighting up the timing screens. A decent sector 2 for him, good sector 1. Zakwan Zaidi has won 2 Supersport 600 championships when that was the premier class in ARRC. And he comes across to complete another lap in this 20-minute warm-up session. Good time too, 1:36.4. So that's his best time of that session. So he'll be trying out a few things. When he got off the bike yesterday after finishing 5th, the cameras were on him, and usually the smiling, very open and candid Zakwan trudged off with his visor down, clearly showing some discontent with what had happened during the race. And here is Ikehiro Inokido talking to his SDG team. Impressive showing for him. I know he didn't get the race result yesterday. The mistakes on a brand new track under this much pressure are, we could say, forgivable, but he'll be looking for a much better race today and hoping to be a spoiler, somebody to put himself in between the championship contenders, those competing for Haruki Noguchi's title. So he'll be looking to get in front of them and take points away from them. None more so than Zakwan Zaidi, who's currently second in this session, and he's really pushing very fast sector 2 for Zakwan Zaidi on this lap. He set his fastest lap so far on the last one, so this is a good stint. And coming out there, I didn't quite see who that was. I think that might have been Yuki Ito, who we haven't spoken about yet. But here comes Zakwan, stops the clock at 1:36.432, fractionally slower than his last lap, but good pace from Zakwan Zaidi. And he'll be wanting to maintain that sort of pace for the entire race this afternoon. Superbikes run over 12 laps. That is Ikehiro on his outlap from the pits. We just saw him leaving the pits, and just behind him, I think that is Kazma Daniel. No, it's not, I beg his pardon. That is Apiwat Wongtananon, who finished in 3rd place yesterday. A couple of seconds off the win. He didn't quite have the pace. He worked really hard. He didn't look too unhappy with the result. Normally he hates not winning, but he kind of accepted the result. He knew he had 1 or 2 things to tweak on the bike. In this session, his best lap is 1:37, so no notable improvement. I don't know what the Yamaha Thailand racing team have been trying. And here goes yesterday's race winner, and as a result of that, a real championship contender, Kazma Daniel Kazmayuddin. And we're back on board, sorry, back on screen now with Ikehiro Enokido, being chased by Apiwat, who's carrying the camera for us once again. So they come out of turn 3. This is the first flying lap of this stint for Ikehiro. What we do know is he's riding a superbly prepared machine. Really great team, STG Hark Pro, and great to have them in the ARRC series in 2022. We hope to see a whole lot more of them. I did ask them in a kind of a friendly way in the last round in Sepang whether they might consider bringing more bikes, but I got a pretty inscrutable response. But let's hope. And above all, let's hope that we see Haruki Noguchi back at the beginning of next season. Apiwat takes a look up the inside. Apiwat has been round this turn 12 thousands of times more than the man riding on track with him there, Ikehiro Enokido. And that is a demonstration of how you get through turn 12 quickly from the Thai rider Apiwat Wongtananon. Back with Kazma Daniel, sitting in P4. Knowing Kazma, he will want to end this session at the top. We have 2 minutes remaining. I can see, I think he's running a medium front and a soft, he's definitely running a soft rear. I can't see the tyre data from yesterday at the moment, but I think that was what he ran yesterday in the race. Staying with Kazma as he comes up to turn 3. Sure who he's got behind him there, but let's look at his sector times for Kazma. Sector 1, okay, quick, not stunning. Here he comes round the fast turn 4 and heads for the technical section. One of the wildcards there went wide. I didn't see who that was, but I think that's Gary Salim running behind him. So staying with Kazma because we are expecting a good time from him. And I beg your pardon, that is Zakwan Zaidi behind him, so that's interesting. These two will complete a lap and get one more flyer. There's 50 seconds left on the clock for this Sunday morning warm-up session. And here goes Kazma on the approach to turn 12. And he stops the clock at 1:36.9. Decent time, doesn't lift him above P4. And Zakwan just behind him. It's a pretty slow lap from him. I don't think that was a serious lap from Zakwan. But both these riders now will be on their last laps of this warm-up session, or the last laps that will be timed. And there's Rider report to race control after the end of this session, and that rider is the man on your screen now, Casma Daniel. So I don't know what misdemeanor he's done. I haven't seen him near any other riders, and I haven't seen him run off track either. Used all the rumble strip there though as he goes into turn 5 at the start of the technical part of this track. Coming into sector 3 just after turn 5. And out of the haze, here comes Casma Daniel. He's got Zakwan Zaidi behind him. Zakwan perhaps looking for another quick time, although I don't think he's going to get it, looking at his first 2 sector times. But the clocks on these, that was a decent sector 2 for Casma. And we will await to see what sector 3 holds in just a few seconds when he crosses the line. And the checkered flag is coming out right now. And Casma will be the first man to take it in this session. And he stops the clock at 1:36.689. So that leaves him in P4 for this warm-up session. Warm-up sessions are not really about lap times, it's more about trying things out. One rider we haven't seen on screen, but didn't really shine in this session, was the man who finished second yesterday, who is Anupab Samoon. He was down in P8, he did a 1:37.3, his teammate did a 1:36.9, so quiet session for the Thai Yamaha riders. Here are the results for the warm-up. And Pasawit Titiwararak, looking for great things today, finished in P1 with a 1:36.1, decent time. Second, Zakwan Zaidi, good session for him, lots of laps, 13 laps for him. Third, Ikehiro Enokido. Fourth, Casma Daniel Kazmayuddin, yesterday's race winner. Fifth, man in P3 yesterday, Apiwat Wongtananon. Sixth, Gary Salim. Seventh, Aslan Shah. And eighth, Anupab Samoon for Yamaha Thailand Racing Team. Ninth, Adam Noradin. Good to see him out after that engine failure yesterday on the BMW. Yuki Ito was 10th. 11th was Anushar Naksharon C, the Thai wildcard. Another Thai wildcard in 12th, Suhatai Chemsap. 13th, Yasuki Nakamura. And 14th, Hideyuki Okada, who did not record a time in that session. And that brings us to the end of this morning's warm-up sessions for ARRC. So we're going to show you a recap of yesterday's race 1. So all the action we've just been talking about, you'll be able to see in the recap in just a moment. And that will complete the warm-up sessions for this morning. And there'll be a warm-up session for the Honda Thailand Talent Cup. I beg your pardon, that will be race 2 for the Honda Thailand Talent Cup. So if you're following the Honda Thailand Talent Cup, that will be race 2 coming up at 10:45 from ARRC. We're going to sign off until the race this afternoon, which is the TVS Asia One Make Championship, which will get underway at about 12:30. In between that, we've got a pit walk, so if you're in the area, please come to Chang International Circuit. The pit walks are absolutely phenomenal. You get to meet the riders are happy, you'll experience a great racing atmosphere. So if you are around, come and join us. Come and say hello to me, come and say hello to Daniel. We'll be there because it is such a blast. But we'll be back at 12:30 with me, Daniel Bogers, and Des Corkill will be back for the telecast starting at 12:30. We'll see you then.
ร่วมเป็นกำลังใจนะครับผมให้กับน้องๆครับมิสเตอร์ชิเกโตะทิมูระครับประธานบริษัทไทยฮอนด้าจำกัดครับรวมไปถึงคุณอารักษ์พรประภารองประธานกรรมการบริหารบริษัทไทยฮอนด้าจำกัดนะครับคุณจุฑามาศอินทริกานันท์ครับคุณเฉลิมพลกองสเปอร์สปอนเซอร์ผู้สนับสนุนครับรวมไปถึงผู้บริหารโค้ชฟิล์มรัฐพลเลโรจน์ครับโค้ชดีสิทธิศักดิ์พรเชลเวียครับรวมไปถึงผู้ในการสนามช้างครับคุณนเรศริชาญพิทยารมณ์การผู้ในการสนามช้างอินเตอร์เนชั่นแนลเซอร์กิตนะครับรวมไปถึงบรรดาสปอนเซอร์ครับก็ร่วมกำลังใจครับกับน้องๆในการแข่งขันเรสที่2กันนะครับเลเยอร์แทร็กของสนามช้างอินเตอร์เนชั่นแนลเซอร์กิตนะครับระยะทาง 4.554 กิโลเมตรนะครับวิ่งตามเข็มนาฬิกานะครับผม 12 โค้งครับซ้าย5ขวา7ครับเป็นบรรยากาศที่พิสตาร์ครับรับชมไปพร้อมๆกันทั่วโลกครับวันนี้เรสที่2ของการแข่งขันนะครับสำหรับการแข่งขันในวันนี้ก็จะใช้เป็นfaster lap ในเรสของเมื่อวานนะครับเป็นการจัดปิดสตาร์ทนะครับโดยเจ้าของโพวันนี้จะเป็นนพรุ่งคงบุญประเวศครับน้องอุ้มนะฮะจะออกสตาร์ทในตำแหน่งโพโพซิชั่นครับเมื่อวานนี้ก็ทำความเร็วเรสแลปครับในเรส1 นาที 49.402 ครับการวิ่งส่วนการแข่งขันครับการแข่งขันในรถมีก็15 รอบแหละนะครับรถที่ใช้แน่นอนต้องเป็นกันหมดนะฮะสำหรับ Honda NSF250 ครับรายการนี้นะครับสำหรับโครงการ Honda Thailand Talent Cup เป็นโครงการโดยบริษัทไทย Honda จำกัดที่สานฝันนักบิดเยาวชนอายุไม่เกิน 20 ปีครับโดยนักแข่งที่เข้าร่วมโครงการต้องผ่านการฝึกฝนในโครงการ Honda Academy ครับในการเป็นนักแข่งที่เริ่มต้นกับภายใต้รถแบบ Honda Road to the Dream ครับเรามีโค้ชที่มาเป็นโค้ชให้น้องๆครับนี่คือโค้ชทีมแข่งของ Honda Racing Thailand ครับนำโดยโค้ชฟิล์มรัฐภาคเลโรจน์ครับโค้ชดรีมสิทธิศักดิ์พรชูรีครับ Honda NSF250 Race Machine Bike ครับเป็นรถที่ใช้ในการแข่งขันทุกขั้นเหมือนกันครับในปีนี้ก็แข่งขันกันทั้งหมด6 สนามนะครับโดยแยกลงในรายการ ORBI Superbike ทั้ง4 สนามแล้วก็นี่เป็นสนามสุดท้ายที่ลงในรายการ Asia Road Racing Championship นะครับกำลังใจเยอะหน่อยครับน้องรุ่นนี้ลงไปก็มีพี่ๆนักแข่งจาก Honda Racing Thailand ครับให้กำลังใจ สตาร์ติ้งติดนะครับชนะรอบฟิลครับออกสตาร์ทในตำแหน่งโพครับตามมาด้วยเกียรติศักดิ์สิงห์พงศ์ครับโอยุทธนาคากวาดในแถวแรกนะครับแล้ว2จะมีจักรินทร์พื้นที่3ธนกรหลักหนาและวาติกันสุขคุ้นในกีสตาร์ทที่6ครับต่อเนื่องมาที่แถวที่3คลิปที่7นะครับนพรุ่งพงศ์บุญประเวศกฤษดาธนโชติครับเชสซี่เมอร์เรนดี้ครับหรือที่10คาร์วินคิมคาวคอมเพรสเซอร์อัลเมอร์อัลฟาราเซลในปี11และ12เป็นพัชรกรของเกิดหลวงครับ 13ครับต่อเนื่องพิชยาผู้พิจารณ์ครับต่อด้วยโทรทัศน์ของสีธนชาตินะครับผมในเอซ่าที่15นะครับเนื่องมาด้วยหัวชินแล้วก็1,000แอนฟูเป็นพิซซ่าที่เยอะมากพอสมควรเลยนะครับรถนำจำที่ติดสตาร์ทครับดูกันไปเรื่อยๆครับยืนยาวครับในแต่ละรอบแต่ละโค้งมีอันดับการเปลี่ยนแปลงอยู่เสมอครับเพราะฉะนั้นเราต้องดูไปตามนี้
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Thailand. Mr. Shigeto Kimura, the president of Thai Honda Company Ltd, to present the trophies to our winners. In third place, Tadakon Laka. In second place, Jakipat Putasan. And your race winner, Thana Lampio. Now we'd like to invite Mr. Shigeto Kimura to take a photo with our race winners. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause once again for our Honda Thailand Talent Cup Race 2 winners. And a big thank you once again to Mr. Shigeto Kimura for presenting the trophies to our winners. We will now start the voting ceremony for the Honda Talent Cup Race 2 Class B winners. In third place, Tanacha Pratungtong. In second place, Pacharagon Tomaton. And your race winner, Kitsada Tanacho. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Thailand. Now we would like to invite Mr. Alex Pramprapa, the Vice President of Thai Honda Company Ltd, to present the trophies to our Class B winners. In third place, Tanacha Pratungtong. In second place, Pachagon Tomatlao. And your winner, Kitsada Tanachot. Now we'd like to invite Mr. Alex Pramprapa to take a photo with our Class B winners. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause once again for our Honda Talent Cup Race 2 winners. Thank you once again to Mr. Alex Pramprapa for presenting the trophies to our winners.
ก็ผ่านไปเป็นที่เรียบร้อยครับสำหรับที่การมอบรางวัลที่วินเนอร์โพเดียมครับสำหรับในคลาสโออนะครับน้องๆ3 คนก็ผลการแข่งขัน ขันเหมือนเมื่อวานเลยนะครับวินเนอร์โพเดียมเป็นของธนาล่องปลิวครับอันดับ 2 เป็นจักรีพันธ์พุทธิสารส่วนธนกรหลักหารจบอันดับที่ 3 ครับนอกจากนั้นในคลาส B ครับกรุ๊ป B อันดับที่ 1 เป็นกฤษดาขออภัยครับกฤษดาธนโชติครับ2เป็นพัชรกรทองเกิดหลวงและ3เป็นธนชาติปทุมทองนะครับบรรยากาศตอนนี้สำหรับผู้บริหารที่ให้เกียรติมอบรางวัลครับมิสเตอร์ชิเกโตะคิมูระครับประธานบริษัทไทยฮอนด้าจำกัดครับคุณอารักษ์พรประภารองประธานกรรมการบริหารบริษัทไทยฮอนด้าจำกัดครับและในขณะนี้มีผู้บริหารร่วมถ่ายภาพร่วมกันครับคุณตะไลศิริชันวิทยารมการดำเนินการสนามช้าง International Circuit ครับคุณจุธามาศอินติงดานันท์นะครับคุณเฉลิมพลคลองสุขเลิศครับคุณธงชัยวงศ์สวรรค์ครับรวมไปถึงผู้บริหารทีมสปอนเซอร์ครับที่ให้เกียรติถ่ายภาพกับน้องๆนะครับก็ผ่านไปเป็นที่เรียบร้อยครับ6 สนาม 12 เรสในรายการ Honda Thailand Challenge Cup นะครับเดี๋ยวสักครู่หนึ่งเราเข้าสู่บรรยากาศพิทบอลกันนะครับคุณผู้ชมที่อยู่บนแกรนด์สแตนด์สามารถมาร่วมกิจกรรมได้ครับมีบัตรแกรนด์สแตนด์ร่วมกิจกรรมพิทบอลกันได้เลยนะครับ